Hello, everybody, and welcome to Hawkeye Month. I am Dr. Kneale, and you know what I've been thinking about a lot lately? The beautiful, the wonderful, the marvelous, pun intended this time, Avengers Campus. Have you seen this thing, dude? It's incredible. You got Pym's Test Kitchen, which makes food big and small, and that is incredible on its own, and I don't even need to talk about the other stuff. But you have web swingers, web swingers, Neil, slingers. There's a whole Spider-Man ride, just a whole park of cool Avengers and MCU stuff. You can dance with the Guardians of the Galaxy. You can watch Spider-Man do flips over a building. You can get captured by the Collector. It's fun. But that made me think, what about the other Marvel characters? Yes, a lot of them are represented here, but not everybody gets an attraction. What about my main man Hawkeye or Wanda Maximoff? Where does Loki fit into all this? Well, ladies and gents, that's what we're going to talk about today. What are some new things that they could add to Avengers Campus? Now, we're going to be focusing on attractions, not just rides. I also specifically wanted to do things that were possible, but I also wanted to have fun with it, so some of these things would require construction and stuff like that. But that's okay, this is just a wish list, and what could be in an infinite possibilities of winning and losing and half the population being snapped out of existence. Also, this is my list, so if you guys have any suggestions, maybe we can make another one specifically about the suggestions that fans of this video have proposed to the Kneale. Proposing to the Kneale. Anyways, let's get started, and since it's his month, why don't we start with my main man, Clint Barton, Hawkeye. Now, before everybody starts yelling at me that Hawkeye doesn't deserve his own ride, I somewhat agree with you. I love this character with all of my heart, but he really doesn't need his own ride. The character could be represented perfectly in a different way. Some people probably don't know this, but Clint Barton in the comics was actually mostly raised in the circus. He is a carny. So it makes sense for a carnival game to represent Hawkeye. Why don't we have a little thing where you can practice your bow and arrow shooting, and if you hit a target, Hawkeye gives you a plushie of Lucky the Pizza Dog, or maybe your favorite Avenger, or hey, of him himself. God, I would love classic Hawkeye costume plushie. I would love that. A boy can dream. I also want to bring up that around Avengers Campus currently, you can find stickers that say Lucky Dog's Pizza. Lucky is, of course, Hawkeye's dog, so maybe this is hinting that in the future there could be a pizza restaurant themed around Hawkeye and his dog. However, I kind of doubt it. Hank Pym's Test Kitchen is already pretty perfect, so why ruin a good thing? I think that just a simple shooting arrow game really works for Clint, especially because in his first appearance he was doing just that, in the middle of a circus firing off some arrows to impress a couple people. I think this would honestly perfectly represent the character. And I want a Lucky the Pizza Dog plush. Please just give me Hawkeye merch, please! Now, for Wanda, I thought that just a photo op where there were optical illusions similar to like what already happens in the Doctor Strange area could be pretty good for her. You could have her little area be completely in black and white, or occasionally have her come out in a dress that's black and white with black and white makeup. It could be really cool. But my chat had another idea, so I want to pitch it to you guys just in case that's better. What if Wanda had her own escape room where you start out in Wanda's house from WandaVision and then slowly get to other places? For example, you could go into the different rooms that represent all of these different sitcoms represented by the show. Like, you could go to the frickin' 80s sitcoms, 70s sitcoms. You could see all the fun little references that were in the show along with props. Maybe even see Wanda and Vision's Halloween costumes. You could also go into the basement, where there is a portal, to Agatha's secret lair. This is where things really start in, and you need to find certain items before Agatha returns home to turn Signor Scratchy into a giant rabbit demon to eat you. It could be really fun to do it this way. Disney hasn't done a ton of escape rooms, so this could be really cool. Do I see it happening myself? Nah, I think it's a little too big, but hey, why not? Shoot for the stars, man. Or, of course, the Vision ride, where you're just going back and forth on the ship of Theseus, and you debate whether or not this is the real ship of Theseus or the original ship was the ship of Theseus. Then you decide that both are the ship of Theseus, and then you just have a mental breakdown in Disney World. Ironically, really well represents the show if you think about it. Speaking of mental breakdown, hiya, Deadpool. So, I think a Deadpool ride could work. There doesn't need to be swearing or anything. Plus, he's coming into the MCU. You gotta take those big steps, and this could be a huge one. I think people would love this. What I think would be perfect for Deadpool is a show where he teams up with his buddy Gwenpool. Picture, if you will, a villain attacking Avengers Campus. For the purposes of today, we'll say it's Thanos. He's about to snap his fingers yet again and take out half of all life when, pause, an actual actor of Deadpool walks out. Yes, this time you've been watching a movie on screen. Deadpool walks out, freezes everything Fresh Prince of Bel-Air style, and starts trying to come up with a plan. Gwenpool reveals herself, and they nick the time stone from the Infinity Gauntlet. They deduce that maybe they could go back in time and warn the Avengers. But Deadpool's sneaky. He figures that they're going back in time, well, he's new to the MCU. He should have more of a presence. So I represent you. I bring you all to this incredible show. With live-action actors, ending with Deadpool tap dancing to Star Spangled Man from Captain America the First Avenger, and a big show spectacular. Deadpool ruse? I'm bad at everything. Rules the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Picture it, Deadpool having a fight scene with Captain America where he declares that he has the better ass. All of these really cool throwbacks to the Marvel movies, but now Deadpool is smack dab in the middle of them. This is perfect for his character. Plus, you could throw Gwenpool in there. It would be really fun and, honestly, probably funny as hell. Also, outside, you could have a chimichanga stand. That was Skylar's suggestion, which I'm just throwing in here. I think it would be great. Oh, also, Skylar wanted me to mention that Deadpool's actual favorite food is pizza, and that he saw not pizza, pancakes. And he saw those pancake taco things from Universal Japan. That could be really good here. I mean, imagine Deadpool with a pancake taco. He'd go insane. But just imagine the visuals. A rainbow unicorn horn impaling Thor. Deadpool fighting Thanos with a rubber chicken. This show could be great. I'm thinking Muppet Vision-esque. Muppet Vision-esque. And they would have to build their whole new building for this. I am tripping on my words something fierce here. Deadpool is corrupting me. Corrupting me! You know, one of the coolest things at Galaxy's Edge, you can see my dog in the background, one of the coolest things at Galaxy's Edge, two of the coolest things, are the Droid Workshop and Savi's secret lightsaber place. I think it's also called Savi's Workshop. Is it the Droid Expo? The Droid Depot? I'm still recovering from Deadpool. Anyways, I wanted something where people could make custom items from the MCU. Things like Infinity Gauntlets. Like your own Vibranium Captain America shield. Custom with some presets and some different colors given to you by the fine folks at Disney for all of the money. And what I came up with was the Wakandan Embassy, run by Shuri. What if you could build those things? Get your own pair of Falcon wings. Maybe make an arc reactor. This could be really fun, and if they theme it after Saviz, it could be a little show where you are making weapons to help the Avengers. The whole land is literally about training the next generation of heroes, right? This seems perfect for that to me. You could even go home with a Captain America shield of your own design. You could pick the color, you could pick all of these cool things. I think it would just be really fun to see. I'd want my own Infinity Gauntlet that's green and silver. There's so many good ideas here and things to play with. Plus, Disney, let's be real, people would pay you tons for this. Like, holy crap, you'd make all the money. You'd have a whole second brand of items similar to the Droid Depot and Saviz. This would be great for you money-wise. But I do know that, like, Wakanda kind of deserves more. It kind of deserves its own ride. And I don't think I'd even be very good at pitching something like that. I honestly can't think of it. I know there are plans to, like, have this ride where you do have a battle in Wakanda, so maybe that's enough, but I think specifically focusing on the character of Shuri and the fact that she's an inventor in this land that is literally themed around, like, turning the next generation into heroes, this could be really cool and really make some kids' days. Or, one very fat 23-year-old. Me. So, I was trying to think of something specifically for the villains of the MCU. I thought maybe they could get their own ride, but I thought it would be a little weird to focus on villains for an entire ride, maybe a show? I mean, I know the Disney Cruise Line has villains tonight, maybe we could get a villain show? But then, inspiration struck, and I think this is the best way to do it. I know there is already a very small little bar where you can get some Pimtech booze. But what if we had the bar with no name? For those of you who don't know, in the comics, the bar with no name is a common meeting spot for villains. This goes for Spider-Man villains, Daredevil villains, pretty much any villains that hold themselves in New York. What if this was the villains' place where they're hiding out in Avengers Campus, getting ready to attack the Avengers at any moment? You could see little references throughout. Kind of what happens in Web Slingers, where you can see stuff for Squirrel Girl and, Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur. You could probably see references to tons of villains here, even some that aren't in the MCU yet. You could have some Asgardian wine or ale brought by frickin' Loki. You could find out that at the karaoke bar, Agatha Harkness sings a lot. There are a ton of references to have here, and have the whole thing owned by Wilson Fisk's Kingpin. I really want this to happen, folks. This could be so cool. I mean, we already got Olga's Cantina over there in Galaxy's Edge, so why not a villain-themed bar for the Marvel Land? It makes perfect sense to me, and I would love to see it. Plus, now that they have Madripoor in the MCU, they could theme, like, the decor off of that. Who knows? We saw cage fights in Shang-Chi. I don't know how they would replicate those here, but sure, I'll watch Abomination punch Wong. God, I would love to be drunk and watch Abomination fight Wong. Alright, folks. We've talked about some things that are really cool and really big. But this is the big potato here. This is a ride. Based on Thor. I think Thor is the perfect one to base this off of. Over at Guardians of the Galaxy, we have the Collector kidnapping people and trying to put them into his collection. So what if, over closer on the other side, we had the Grand Master doing the same thing? After he escaped Sakaar at the end of Ragnarok, the Grand Master came to Earth, and he's trying to bring back his glorious, battles. He wants people to fight like they did on Sakaar. He's looking for a new champion, and luckily, he's tricked you into becoming it. You even waited in line for your chance. As you're about to be thrown into the ring and have to battle some sort of giant monster, your savior comes. Korg, he talks about another revolution, the sequel, Revolution 2, where he's getting people together to help break you out. All you need to do is relax. You get to ride that little ride from Thor Ragnarok, the one that played, the whole, "A world of pure imagination." That one. I can't sing, but it would be really neat to recreate that with the visuals and everything, and then it just opens up and you're in Sakaar. I think this ride could be kind of similar to Hagrid's motorbike adventure from Universal Studios, specifically where you're just zooming in, like it is a roller coaster. You're zooming into all of these different scenes and animatronics. I think it could be really cool, or you could also base it off of Rise of the Resistance, where you are literally captured by the Grandmaster and taken to Sakaar itself. I think that could be cool as hell, but I understand that they don't want to repeat what they set up there too much. Thor would come in and save you. You could see Valkyrie fighting on her Pegasus. There could be so many cool things here. Honestly, if there's one movie that really deserves some sort of roller coaster or big ride, besides the Avengers, Spider-Man, or Guardians of the Galaxy, I do think it's Thor Ragnarok. It honestly really sets it up. That movie felt like an adventure. It shook your seat in the movie theater. It was a wonderful experience. And what if you could literally be in that movie? It would be wonderful. Plus, we'd get all the Jeff Goldblum we could handle. I really, truly think that Thor Ragnarok would be the best one for a ride like this. Would it be Fat Thor? Probably not, but he's still beautiful to me. There you guys have it. Those are the rides that I would add to... God, I'm already struggling on my words. But those are the rides that I would add to Avengers Campus. Now, they're not all rides. Most of them are honestly just other attractions. But I think these would all be really cool. And let me know if you would like to see this done with other MCU characters. For example, could we give a ride to somebody like, I don't know, Black Widow, maybe? I'd love to sit down and think about what sort of attraction each MCU character deserves. Jimmy Woo Magic Show. Jimmy Woo Magic Show. Thank you all for watching, and I hope you are enjoying Hawkeye Month. Please, tell people about this video. Scream loud until Disney hears you and lets me vlog at the premiere. Thank you guys, and I still want pancake tacos.